Hello everyone, I'm Thugrook, and today we're going to be going over a tanking demonstration for Stone Wars level 17. This is going to be an advanced tanking demonstration with larger pulls and riskier moves that will help you as a tank to carry even low DPS players through a high level map and still finish it on time, even though you have low DPS. The only swap you need for this one is a BMS. You'll need it for the boss fight and the mini boss if you choose to do so. Other than that, everything is basic gear. You need your CC passives, Leering Cane, and your regular skip set. To start off Stone Wars, it's a really simple pull at the beginning here. I just use my soldier helmet to walk past these two guys, and then I roll to dodge the auto attack from these guys and immediately use my E so I don't take any damage from the ranged thrower. Build up to 4 auto attacks, snare, give it another Q and walk away. Now up here I'm looking to pull the patrolling spinner with this mob here. By aggroing her, I'll aggro the spinner. And if you were to just aggro the spinner instead of aggroing the throwing trash mob, the trash mob on the other side of the room will pull us all. So make sure you aggro the trash mob and not the spinner. After the first one dies, just bring him over to the other one. I haven't used a snare yet on the spinner because I want the full snare duration once he enrages. So there's the first snare I've used on him, and he gets the full snare duration, which will last for his entire spin. For this next pull, you're looking for this patrol to be right about here. You'll poison him and pull all 3 of these spinners here, just like that. Bring them all the way around down to here. Don't use any abilities yet. Now you use your first ability, which is Soldier Helmet. And then you use your E. 4 auto attacks, snare, Q them one more time before you walk away. And I've actually started pulling this mob during the first snare. So you can just walk past all these guys, bring her in there, stun them all together. Four auto attacks, snare. The reason why I was able to auto attack 4 times there was because my Bridge Watch cape overlapped with my Enfeeble aura. Normally, even with Enfeeble aura, you cannot survive 3 spinners spinning on top of you. So you are only able to do it if you have a Bridge Watch cape and Enfeeble. If you don't have both available, then don't do 4 auto attacks, just snare them. For this pull, just walk up and body pull, walk backwards and then roll forward. E them once they're all clumped together. 4 auto attacks. Snare, give it another Q and walk away. You're looking to pull these 2 melee mobs next. You need the patrol to be down here though. So go ahead and pull them. I already put a Q on them. Just gonna walk past this guy and then E them when they're all together. Build up to 4 auto attacks, 2, 3, and Enfeeble, he's spinning, 4, snare. Even on level 18, you are able to tank the spinner spinning for 1 or 2 of your auto attacks while you have Enfeeble up and the healer is using beam on you. So don't be afraid to greed a little bit for the 4th auto attack as long as you have Enfeeble. For this next pull, you're just going to Q this mob, poison that mob down there, roll, and then Soldier Helm, and E. Q them, 4 auto attacks, snare, give them another Q, walk away. Again, anytime you snare a mob and walk really far away, keep an eye on that snare debuff. Do not use any of your CC abilities until that snare debuff runs out. And even after the snare debuff runs out, frequently they'll use an ability, so you can gain a little bit more time by just letting them do their ability. For this mob, go up and Q her. Poison the mobs in the back. Roll, Soldier Helm, E. I missed a few iframes there, but the important one, evidently, is the E. Just let her do her abilities. If you interrupt her abilities, you'll take extra auto attacks, and that's extra damage that the healer probably won't be able to heal. Q her off of cooldown. You saw I used my shoes cooldown there to dodge an auto attack, help the healers keep up. Now you're waiting for this patrol to group over here. We're going to auto attack her once and roll past her to lure the mobs on the bridge. Alright, so auto attack, roll past, they'll do an ability, so you have time. Q everything, auto attack and E, third auto attack, fourth auto attack, snare, give it another Q. If they throw an auto attack at you, use your helmet. And you walk in this direction because there is a high probability that they'll use their ability when you're walking away from them. If you walk behind the DPS, you're going to kill at least one of them. When you walk back towards them, just roll any auto attacks they do. I missed one of them with my snare, so I needed to enfeeble here. Snare the spinner. Walk away again. For this next pull here, we're going to do 3 pulls in one, basically. So we're up here, we're going to poison this mob, roll their auto attacks, past the melee guys, enfeeble and Soldier Helm back, and then we'll Q and E everything when it's all together. So roll, enfeeble, Soldier Helm, Q everything, E, 2, 3 auto attacks, 4 auto attacks, snare, Q again, walk away. Do not walk towards the DPS, you'll kill them. If your DPS understands English, I would highly recommend telling them to kill the ranged mobs first here. Oftentimes, if the ranged mob is alive while the spinner is spinning, a lot of things start going wrong. So again, even on level 17, as long as you have a beam and enfeeble, you can tank the spin for a while. Alright, once it's down to just this guy, I start looking for the next pull here. So I'm going to poison these, walk past, and E them. Build up to 4 auto attacks. Queuing off a cooldown. And now you can get the chest once everyone's over here, so they don't call you a troll for stealing loot. For the next pull, you just do these 3 mobs all together. I asked the DPS to reset there because they pulled a mob from up above, like up here, and when they do that, it kind of messes with the timing. Like, some tanks really like you to do that because either they need the mob count or, I don't know, something else. But for me, it just messes with the timing, because now I gotta think about how long it takes her to walk all the way around, and I need to time my stun a whole lot better, and honestly, I'm not that good. So, for me, it's easier to just not lure the mob. Alright, I am going to show you what I call a proximity pull. So I'm going to walk north of this mob and Q her, and 3 of these mobs will lure her. So you walk past her, walk up to here, Q, then you roll past, soldier helm. I drop an enfeeble here, E and Q, 4 auto attacks, snare, Q again, walk away. Yeah, I don't really know what that pull is technically called, but for any of you math nerds out there, it works because when you hit a mob, there is a certain radius around your character that pulls other mobs around you. And that radius is larger than the radius around the mobs that causes them to be pulled when you walk close to them. So by hitting a mob while they are inside of your radius, but you are outside of their radius, you can pull mobs as if you're using a ghost pull. I don't know which direction that patrol resets in, but I thought I'd try it just to see. So we're waiting for the patrolling ranged mob to come back and group with these. Once she groups, we're going to walk into all 3 of them with soldier helmet to dodge an auto attack, and then we're going to Q them to lure this mob. Q them, walk away, and E back in. So that way you take no damage, and they're all clumped nice and away from the spinner mob. At this point, we don't need the mage for this next pull. We only need the 2 melee mobs. But oftentimes people will reflect. I guess we don't have a reflect. Oh, we do have a reflect. Maybe it just wasn't ready. Just a reminder, anytime you guys reflect, make sure you have Shoes of Tenacity. That guy just died because he got aggro after reflecting, and he didn't have invis available. You don't need the chest there, but I grabbed the chest just because I don't feel like coming back here after we kill the boss. Obviously you can skip it if you're tight on time, just come back to it after the boss. After the skip, we're going to watch the mage. So the mage is going to be on this side here. So once he walks back towards the boss, we're going to pull these guys into these guys. So that way we have plenty of time to kill them and we don't need to worry about the mage patrol. Going to do that with the soldier helmet. And then E. 4 auto attacks. Prep your text for instructing the DPS what to do. Again, if you're reflecting, make sure you always have invis. Alright, for the boss here, you need taunts, damage reduction passives, you need the second Q here, and the fourth W. Those are going to be used to interrupt the boss's abilities. And ideally, my healer won't understand me if I type to him, but I will interrupt all the boss's abilities so the healer doesn't need to cancel beams. Alright, to start off the boss, you need to poison him, and I'm just going to auto attack at the start here because I have Bridge Watch Cape available. So this is a pet peeve for me. I don't know if it is for other tanks, but when your Frost swaps to Frost Beam without asking, it's worse DPS, and even though it can help to keep you alive, it's worse DPS, and oftentimes it can compromise the map. I think I'm dead. Yeah, so this is why you tell the healer not to cancel their beams. Again, my healer doesn't speak fluent English, so there's a bit of a language barrier here, and that's why he didn't understand at first. So you're just rotating your defensives here. Try to save W, because there is one point here where he could do 2 abilities back to back. Anytime you can, use your E. Once he starts spinning, you can put your BMS on him. Once the BMS is at 4 stacks, he won't move. Same goes for Bridge Watch Cape. You can put your Bridge Watch Cape on him and he won't move. I just made a pretty big mistake. So in general, you never want to cancel the ground slam that he does during his spinning phase. Obviously he deals a ton of damage with auto attacks during this phase, and if you interrupt his ability and let him do more auto attacks, it's not going to end well for you. Alright guys, so that's how to do a lumber. See if I can show you guys a mini boss. I won't be able to show you guys if these guys don't want to do it. Okay, I guess we'll show you the mini boss. Alright, so after the final boss, skip back to the mini boss, if you so please. For the mini boss, I like to use BMS with my first Q. I'll run Enfeeble and stay on the toughness passives. For this boss, you need to be very careful with your Q. In case you're not aware, anytime you Q an enemy 3 times in a row, so like these things stack, so if it has 2 stacks and then you Q it again, it'll be stunned. So you can use that to your advantage, but if you're not careful, you'll interrupt her ability, and then you'll take an extra auto attack, and that will likely get you killed. Always instruct your DPS to kill the turrets. So to start off this boss, just going to poison her and bridge watch cape her. Spam your abilities at the start. As long as she isn't using her ability, you can use 3 stacks of your Q. I like using my W to put her into this corner here, just because there's not really a better place to put her with your W. We're just trying to get to enrage phase here. Before enrage phase, I stack up my Q twice. This is probably bad. Nah, we're okay. So just have your debuffs on her. Let her do her abilities. I know I interrupted one. That really should have gotten me killed. I'm lucky that I didn't die. And that's how you do the boss. So just tell your DPS to kill the turrets and knock her back into that corner there. And after that, just rotate your defensives and be smart about when you use your Q and your W so you don't interrupt her. Alright guys, thanks for watching the advanced tanking guide to Stone Wars. I hope you guys learned some pulls, and hopefully you'll be able to use them on your own now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.